Good morning. Today we're going to be taking a look at XRP, some Bitcoin futures, along with the Sigma coin all right, let's jump into it. So yesterday I had a bullish video going into the morning with the expectation that we were going to hold this higher low here at $2.35. This was going to be a completion of a 5-wave move off the lows here, which would then give us the ability to complete, oh boy, that was horrible. But anyway, we're going to complete the 5 waves up, ABC down with the higher low and hit us at the -1 variable rate here, which was 65% away from this white line. So that was the expectation. But then shortly after the video, we went and lost that low and we ended up going down into the, there we go. We ended up going down into the lower low, bounced out of it, closed the gap above, and then we've since been completing this wedge pattern to the downside, which may or may not be done. So we'll be looking and exploring this here in just a few moments. So with this, though, basically at this point, the expectation is that now we're going to be looking for our wave count to be wrapping up. So some things to note here. On our momentum indicator, which is this guy right here, I would like to point out that we have a bullish divergence. Okay, so what that means here on the 1 hour, this is the one I use to look for these divergences for XRP, is that we have a drop here in the momentum. It spikes back up again, and then we set a higher low as we go lower in price, and then we go up again, and we set another higher low as we go lower in price, and then we go up again, and then we set another lower low as we go up in price. So in all of these circumstances, we end up having this higher low through the momentum as price action is falling, leading me to believe that if we are not already at the bottom, it is extremely close. And in last night, we got to about 97% away from this line, which is 95 for the blue line and 97 for this area, going all the way out to the -3 deviations. So we're very, 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 very overstretched, and a snapback is extremely likely. The question is it with one more rollover and then snapback, or is it with that's it, and we did it right here last night? So the reason we're not quite sure on the count is we're looking for a 5-wave move to the downside, and we can justify 1, 2, 3, 4, and then within this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I see this potential count here where we end up doing a 5-wave move down along this way. Okay, that's one option. I can also justify a count here where we go with the 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's our 5, right? And that's our finishing move. And these waves are crossing, which is normally not what you want to see because of the wedge pattern, but they can do it with a series of ABC down, ABC up, and then 5-wave move down, and then this could be an ABC back up and another rollover. So just be mentally prepared that there could be a bounce to take this liquidity back and then a rollover one more time. We're very close, right? So it's all over the place, but this bullish divergence is what makes me think we are there. I mean, it's just continually setting higher lows because absorption is occurring, and they're just sweeping the remainders of the liquidity players out there. So now Bitcoin, let's jump over here. So Bitcoin, we had this gap, this box that we had filled out as an estimation of where we would actually go for this partner leg for this ABC move to the downside. Now, count-wise, we've completed our wave 1, and I've just shown the corrective waves. So there's wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4. And now we have this 5th wave, and we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we can see that it's really close to wrapping up. So there's still potential for one more pullback, but we did wick into the area that I thought we would, which was this gap close over here, along with the 50-week moving average here on the spot price, okay? So I can see a justification of one more sweep down, finishing this gap close, wrecking everybody, and then we're out of here, right? So that could be the last capitulation rollover, because this count could be 1, 2, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then roll up to wave 4, and then one more 5th wave down. So we have that. Now we jump over to the futures. That's a little bit different. I'd actually again marked off this liquidity area. There's a little tiny bouncing area right here in this middle zone that we had I had identified, and that is where we came down to. So we came right down to the 200-day moving average on the futures market, along with the 50-week that are both here as a support level. Came down, kissed it, hit the area of interest that I had for the gap closure, and bounced. So we've done it in our 5-wave move to the downside, right? So it looks like, and then from here with the futures, we can very clearly see for this fifth wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's there in the futures market that we actually already have the fifth wave in. So that's very, very intriguing and fascinating that we're probably done with Bitcoin's completion. So now again, may still be one more rollover. So just again, be mentally prepared for that. But I think we're there. I mean, this is really, if we zoom out on the futures chart here and we look at what we have here, this is the origin of our impulse right here. And so we got wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 3. Then we did 4. And then within this fifth wave, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, then an A, B, C down, A, B, C up, and now here's our fifth. And that's all we did. We only came down to here, but that's where we started. This is the beginning of wave 1. This is the completion of wave 2. That is extremely bullish on how shallow this was, really, across the entire thing. And even from the high, which was our corrective C leg to the upside, we ended up seeing only an 18% pullback on Bitcoin, which is incredible. If we go to the completion of wave 1, that was a 17% pullback. So very, very, very excited just to see how shallow this was on this larger impulse. And I think so many people are going to be caught off guard when this thing just rips out of here. So yeah, that's very, very, very exciting on that. Now we go back to XRP. So we're at XRP. We've gone to -2 deviations. We're 65% away from the level. Potential wave count completion, along with the liquidity. So how are we looking after a week? So there's your cataclysmic collapse. We had a whole bunch of people go long here. We had to move up to the upside, and some people caught this liquidity down in the 185 to 170 region. With this breakdown, we've taken back all of this heat here that was at the 125 level, and there is still, of course, a little bit down here. The question is there enough of a lack of demand to swing this down and grab this liquidity, or are we coming back up to the 266 plus region for all of these shorts that they've onboarded? So definitely things to make you wonder if we're in fact finishing up. So now we're going to jump into the Velo data, and the Velo data has been very intriguing as well. Let's see if I got this saved. Yes, we do. Okay, so if we jump in and we go to our 1 hour Velo data, there's some interesting confluences occurring here that I thought was very fascinating. So note that we've been actually seeing open interest falling here at this level, okay? And at the same time, we've been seeing that the type of open interest that we're getting is actually turning long here at this moment. And we actually can also see that spot buying is starting to increase down here at the bottom, right? So we're seeing this move. So with the open interest going up, I'm sorry, the slant of it being long, but open interest stalling, and we're falling at the same time, this leads me to believe that this divergence means that this is the shorts closing their positioning, and we are in fact bottoming out. And so prior to this, if we look at how this played here, you can see that over this period of time, we had massive red, we moved up in price, okay? Turned green, we dropped. Massive red, moved up in price, and then it turned green and we fell. Massive red and we moved up in price, and then it rolled over. But right about here, it starts changing. We have red that shows up right here in this region, and it falls. We have red that shows up right here in this region, and it rolls up slightly and then falls. But now it's been green the entire time, but we've been seeing the open interest closing despite the falling, which means to me that we are actually seeing the shorts finishing and closing their behaviors at this point. So Velo data is extremely striking to show all that. And with all that, we actually see Sigma coin doing well, right? So here was our cataclysmic week ago capitulation. Spikes all the way back up, and we've just been grinding in the same breakdown wedge pattern that we have on XRP. And we're just doing, and we can see volume stepping in at some of these key areas right here. So you have your kind of move up, and then we have our chop 5 waves down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So so even Sigma's signifying that with this ABC correction to the upside, we have the completion of the potential 5 waves in hand that we would expect to be for our move to the downside here being wrapped up and finished. So anyway, so that's kind of ultimately what I'm watching here, is that I even see Sigma showing that the bottom is in and that this accumulation is going, and we have more buys manifesting. So yeah, so anyway, long story short, if we are not at the bottom already, we are very, very, very close with how low this has gotten from where we are. and the fact that we have a bullish divergence on XRP, along with the Velo data showing us that we have the shorts closing because the open interest is decreasing as price is falling, and it's not having the spikes that it normally would with the longs coming in. And the liquidity on the week really only has these guys down here in the 215, 217, huge gap in liquidity, and then possibly something down here in the 285. So keep that in mind. But everybody's above is where the liquidity. And reminder, they're going to be closing the markets for the futures right after the East Coast time. So that's going to be 6.5 hours, I believe, from now is when they're going to be closing everything. And ultimately, that may be an inverse of this, where we have the liquidation cascade to the downside, clearing all of the leverage players, get all of them some money, then it gets all the shorts on board. Everything's over, doom and gloom. It's going to be absolutely destroyed. Bullish divergence, and then bammo, we just take off out of here. So my suspicion is that we may in fact be seeing a setup here where we actually go to the upside rather than the downside with that time period close. But again, be mentally prepared that we could see wicks closing down here in this 285. It'd just be so challenging with how well this has reacted to these fibs, along with this bullish divergence in my mind, that just wouldn't be bought up. So we will find out together here in a couple hours. So that's ultimately what we got going on today. Invalidation manifested, resulting in this additional breakdown. So know your levels, know where your invalidations are. And as soon as we cleared that level, and for sure when we cleared this level, that's what ultimately told us that we were heading lower. So, all right. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll check in tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be higher.